alive on the planet exponentially. Because we real G's know what it means. And we real G's know elevation is the way to grow. I don't know if I say the right thing when I started, but nevertheless, I have a little distraction going on around me where I have workmen putting up the door for me and somebody else wanting to know what it is going on with me. But nevertheless, let's get into this. So today's message is about why being accountable, why being accountable for our life makes us successful, you know. And what I have to say about this is that, judging from where or what had happened, what had happened in the plane crash that took place in oh gosh, trying to get balance here right now. The plane crash that happened with the helicopter that is now widely being viewed by millions, and hearing the reason for why it happened, it's like we can see how not taking accountability for ourselves as humanity, how it brings a lot of chaos to our life now. And somebody said, well, what do you mean it brings a lot of chaos to life? Well, in the sense that let's take it from a different vantage point now and break it down. That incident would not have happened if the supervisor would have given somebody time off to do whatever they had to do and leave one person responsible for watching the airflow or the airspace. And who knows, that one person probably wasn't even in the room when that accident happened. He probably left or stepped out to do something, and that's when all the chaos took place. And that just dawned on me that, we as a collective need to speak up for the things that doesn't serve our reality, You understand? And we already can see what the system does. It doesn't have any empathy for life in general. No? It's just instant gratification, make a money, and not care for the citizens of the earth as to, hey, we need to do things more detailed so that things like this don't happen to our humanity, and have that now projected back into our reality. So you might say, well, what do you mean by have that projected back into the reality? When we are accountable for the things that we choose for our life, our daily life now, and not putting others' life at risk. There's no empathy towards what goes on, and that's the first thing, to be empathetic with everything that is happening collectively, you know, because it's not just these people who die, it could have been anybody, it could be you and all. And that is where our empathy needs to heighten some more on the planet, in the sense that humanity needs to say or to speak their truth now as the things that affect us. You're paying, people paying thousands of dollars to fly on these planes, and yet still there's no checks, no to make sure that everything is in place. People who are really into their jobs to make sure that humanity takes off, is viewed in the air, is guided, and all these things that goes on with traveling, and it begins with us saying no to the stupidity that the system has created for us, and cause us to lose innocent lives that haven't really lived out their journeys now, And for this, I say to you today, beautiful souls, because when we take, not when, as we take accountability for ourselves and speak up about the things that affect us in reality, we have a broader spectrum and of changing the trajectory, because so many of humanity has been silent about the lack-mindedness that goes on, that does not serve us in any way, that brings balance to our life now. And not just us as individual, but us as family, as a collective. Because I know so many have lost their lives, and the more we put ourselves into other human beings' shoes now, and put ourselves in place of what had happened in that incident, we have more space to now put proper infrastructures that are more mindful, that are that are more resourceful and sustainable for our well-being, and it is for this that we must be accountable for everything. The thing with me is that when I heard about it, I was like, at first I was like, oh, they put it on our stage again for us. And then when my partner mentioned how many lives I'd lost and I meditated on it, I was like, shit, young people who haven't fulfilled the dream or anything like that, And it is for this that we raise our voices now for the stupid things that people do and have no empathy for life just like their own too, you know. And these are the things that will change as time and space progress, you know, putting ourselves first, like how we put ourselves first for ourselves, and co-create a better reality for ourselves by speaking up about the things that affects our life daily, you know, the mess this matrix and has created for us, and the chaos and the lack of empathy that it has towards humanity. Now that we have awakened to our truth and in our knowing and ways to combat these types of ways of living. Hello. That's not right. Hello, Lawrence. Welcome to my live, and thanks for sitting in with me and saying hello. And I'm talking about accountability today. And what got me to this subject was that with the plane crash that happened recently, that is viral at this time, you know, and how humanity needs to speak up for the things that affect our lives daily, you know, and not just have something happen and sweep it under the rug, and then 6 months after it come back up again and we just grumble about it, no, and sweep it under the rug again. No, it's time for us to raise our voices against what has been against us, to bring us to a space of being acknowledging our birthright now, you know, and not be thrown off by distractions that really don't mean anything to us, you know, like celebrity happenings and the latest branding things, or people business. But the real business now, the real business that affects our humanity and that affects us as divine human beings having a human experience now, you know, we have the power to do that. And I say to you today, beautiful souls, it is our time and space now to take back that power. When things don't affect us, when things affect us, this is where we have to raise our voices and speak our truth and come together, you know. We don't necessarily need leaders to fix things, but we need people who are accountable to come together now and change the trajectory. Because I can tell you, let me give you a insight. If we have many electricians and we have many plumbers and we have many teachers and we have many bakers and we have many janitors and we have many of these people with this skill, we don't need anybody to govern the way we can do it for ourselves together in unity, you know. And that is the foundation for exponential growth for our humanity. When we are accountable and responsible and knowing very well, I am my brother and sister keeper on the planet, and The purpose of my life is to serve our humanity in a way that we can all benefit and live in peace, authentically with each other, you know, safeguarding consciously, putting ourselves in each other's shoes now, and not living in separation and all these things that keeps us stuck in a box. You know, I say to you today, beautiful souls, because there is a greater picture that our divine Father, Mother, God is channeling to us intuitively now. Something so fundamental and so beautiful that it will be projected back to our reality now, back in reality, so that we can all benefit and live with each other without segregation, without propaganda, without manipulation, without gaslighting, without all the unnecessary things that made us turn away from the truth of ourselves as a collective that lives in unity with ourselves. Because at the end of the day, without this avatar is one and all, we all one. We all share in this life force. And this life force now is intuitively saying to humanity, be your brothers and sisters, keepers, in a way that loves, that protects, that guides, that nurtures each other, and not about status quo and who have this, and you know, that didn't do anything for us. That just created more chaos and more problems for us, kept us traumatized, living in fear, understand, afraid of the unknown when the unknown is so beautiful. I have so much more to give to life than living a separate life from everybody else, when our Creator is saying, hey, I give life for you all to experience in a way that is free unto each other, but also engage in exchange of currency with each other. And that doesn't just necessarily mean with money. Yes, money is a tool for us to have things and whatever the case may be, but way deeper than that as we move forward and expand ourselves from what kept us living in limitation now. You know, so I can give you a vision to hold within yourself today. A world where we live for each other in every way, where services can be provided similar to bartering, you know, and where everyone is wealthy in a way that is beneficial for all life on the planet. And it begins with having empathy for each other and seeing, hey, not a skin tone, not a man, not a woman, but the divine in everything, and honoring that divinity, you know, that love that is leading life collectively in a beautiful way, you know. And yes, we know that we're living in a world that has in one space, two timelines. And because there's divine will, humanity now have to choose a timeline, the 3D or the 5D, because 5D is saying, yeah, what is going on. We're living our divinity in reality, because you look at it, God, source, the creator, the universe, whatever you want to call it, energy, you know. If it really wants humanity to be poor and suffering, look at 3D reality. You understand? And that came from a timeline that was in lack when our co-creators created all timelines to be in wealth. And because we reincarnated into that timeline and got stuck from a generational gap that didn't want to do anything for themselves but depend on the innate timeline to roll for them. We got stuck in that box now. And now that we are out of it, the choice is yours here today, you know, to live in compassion and empathy in every way, you know. I live like this every day and my life is fulfilled. You know, look, again, the door put on free of charge. Again, free, and again, it put on free of charge now. And it is because of me being open with myself, being compassionate, being loving with all in malice to anyone, even the ones that try to distort my life in negative ways now. You know, those I keep on the side and I love them from a distance. But the ones who deeply understand me are the ones that hi Edward, hello, grand rising, beautiful. And the ones who deeply understand me and know that love is the way to go now. So that's why I'm saying it have two timelines split and there's a choice to be made. Whether you decide to stay in 3D or you decide to elevate to 5D, which is about unity, coming together and building our reality beautiful for ourselves, as a collective, so that now we mirrors it into reality. And this is where the work needs to be put in individually as us, as human beings now. You know, and the more we stand up for ourselves and the more we give ourselves what we choose to see in reality, the more we're going to experience those infinite possibilities now. I am experiencing it in my life every day, you know, and it's almost like if I am living in this magical world now, that everything comes my way. And it's not just for things. I'm talking about emotional states too, where people appreciate who I am and I appreciate who they are too now. You know, because everybody is living out their experiences. But on this 5D timeline, is asking you just say to go within and listen to yourself deeply and see the broader vision, our divine source, Father, Mother, God, universe, whatever it is you want to call our energy, is rendering unto our humanity and calling us home to our innate birthright and saying, hey, There's no separation. There's only love to live out in reality. Do you believe? Do you believe our emotions hold more information than our minds? Of course, Edward. Our emotion. Remember, okay, let's draw reference to the mind. The mind is a projector, right? And if there's no emotions to project the mind, what happens is the mind starts to trick. It starts to trick because the mind is the projector of reality. So whatever we think about can come to reality, right? But if there is no love to what it is being projected, the mind can create chaos now, and our emotions are all tied to love, whether it be a higher vibrational state or lower vibrational state. It's all tied to love. And when we fall in lower vibrational states, we have to remember to love ourselves enough to know that, hey, this is just an experience that's happening in this present moment, and I don't need to hold on to this so that I keep projecting something negative from this lower vibration. So that's why I always say bring yourself back up to neutral and look into your higher states now to give yourself the love and the nurturing and all the things that you need for yourself now to now graduate or leave the lower state and bring a positive outcome to yourself, even though you had experienced something that was negative to yourself. And now balance yourself between the two so you can give yourself a positive state from what it is and happen to you in a lower emotion. So when you live in your heart space, when you live in your heart space, your heart now governs the mind. Remember, your heart is 5,000 times stronger than the mind, right? And because you want to, as a human being, want to experience love, gratitude, goodness, all these different things for your life, you know, whatever it is whatever caused you to fall in a lower state of emotion, either had a lesson for you to learn, to now sit with it and tell yourself, well, this is not going to happen to me again because of XYZ. I learned XYZ and I'm not going to think. So yes, our emotions has a lot to play with it, but we also have to learn to control them too. Anxiety, anxiety builds when not being in the present moment. I would like to explore this more profoundly when being in a crowd of people and we seem to be present. Okay, so I know what you're talking about there, Edward, right? It's like, I want to tell you this. To be present, you always have to be within. There was a point in my life where I was moving through reality external. I was everything external of myself was distracting me from myself now. And because of meditation and grounding and being in stillness and listening to myself, I am now able to be in other spaces, in crowds and all these different things within myself. So even if I'm moving through space, time and space, even if I'm moving through time and space, and distractions is going on all around me. I am consistently present. See, present is a thing that you have to live out daily. You can't just be present when you just okay in a quiet space and a present. No, it's from continuously embodying your presence. It stays with you now, so that anywhere you go, you don't have that to deal with now. You move through reality present in your awareness consciously. So even if somebody try to project or somebody try to get into that space to distract you, it can't work because you're already whole. You're inside yourself, listening to yourself now. Um, what other moments can we be feeling in the field, the future, the past, and how can we feel this from others? All right. So everything is happening in the present. The past, the future, well, the present, the past, and the future is happening in every new day that you are afforded to breathe this good ass energy in, and you will know from others by the way you will know from the way you are now. Like me, I can't just carry on a conversation with somebody who is not present, who is not aware of themselves, who is not awake, and I tend to know the difference when I started to speak my truth, which is always, and they can't comprehend it because it is too out of this world to comprehend that truth from the programmings that they subject themselves to now. So you will know the difference between you and someone who is not in a conscious state now. These people, I tend to, when I open conversations with them, I tend to just listen and know the what is leading the life now, if it's from an egotistical state or if it is from a conscious state, because you can tell the difference. Once you're tapped in, once you're present with yourself, you can always tell the difference. They can take what I'm telling you, you can always tell the difference. Because you can compare and contrast within yourself, internally from what they perceive externally. So have you ever recognized your past and or future? Okay, from my past, of course I recognize it. From my past, I've recognized a lot of things that wouldn't serve me in my past, that wouldn't give in life onto my life and my past. And yes, sometimes it saddens me, and sometimes I get angry and stuff. And in the present moment, when that happened, I can use the past in the present moment and take from the past that what didn't serve me and now change that trajectory in the present moment for my future self. I am constantly using what it doesn't serve me and building in the present moment a new reality for myself. So let's say I've been cheated on many times in the past, and it has been a reoccurring cycle over and over and over and over. And for some reason, I'm this genuine woman. I go out of my way to love and to give and to have my feminine be expressed in the way it is. And I keep meeting people who take that for granted, you know, and because now I'm awake and aware of that situation and why why it keeps happening, you know, me always giving out of myself to get validation for myself. I give that to myself first. I validate myself as a woman now and know to myself that I don't want these things that happen in relationship that cause me to externalize my love now. So in this present moment, watching from the past and saying, hey, you know, you used to do this, that, and the other to have somebody validate you. We're not doing that again. You know, I'm giving myself this now. I am waiting for the right person who has the same high vibrational energy that I have within myself too now, you know, to show up in my reality, because that's why I'm choosing for myself in the present moment, watching from the past. And that's how I combat the present with the future, knowing that it mightn't happen the way I want it to happen, but it will happen in divine order. So, yes. And this is because of this, the present moment is important now. That's why today I'm talking about accountability with that, and I'm glad that you asked me about the present moment, because it's in this present moment we are co-creating our future now by looking at the things in the past that didn't work for us now, that didn't work for our humanity, that then did not speak about or emphasize on empathy for our lives and for our growth and well-being. You know, like I say, look at how much suffering this plane crash, this helicopter, and this plane collide has caused. You know, it creates more fear, it creates more disaster, it creates more these things that are really not necessary for our lives if we are accountable in our life for every present moment. You know, and this is the opportunity for us to take back our power as collective and speak about the things that tries to keep our emotions limited to just fear and anger and grief and suffering. And no, there is a higher vibration and saying, hey, get into this state for yourself. You know, I'm always vibing high for myself, vibing high. Even though something tries to pull me down, I'm there always pulling myself back up, because I can see what it is some distractions are causing in my life now. So as like I say, you have to embody this present moment in your life every day. You can't just have it today and then get distracted tomorrow. And no, once you keep attracting your present moment, what happens is that it's like your soul walk into your avatar and take over your whole avatar. That's what, at least that's what it feels for me. My whole self just walk into my avatar and take over. So I don't have limitations of, you know, when I'm manifesting, I know it's gonna come. I don't have disbeliefs. I don't have none of these things going on in my life. Even though sometimes the ego will try to prompt you and give you a little nudge to tell you, hey, you know, but the more present we are, is the more conscious we are in the way we choose to live our life now, you know, and not live in fear, limitations, lack, and all these different things. And, you know, sometimes I hear people talking about things that they co-create for themselves, you know, out of fear. And because I am present with myself, I can now leave them in the limitations where they're at, or if somebody is open to hear that they are the ones co-creating that, I go further in with them. So you don't have to live in limitations with yourself. It matters something. Life, it have more to life than what it is we actually know, and I am experiencing that every day for myself. And is the reason why I'm here every day of my life, consciously empowering lives who are tapped in with themselves, because God, source, Father, Mother, God, whatever you want to call our energy, is a genius, giving each human being something beautiful about themselves to bring to life and to give life meaning to themselves now. And have that lived out in reality, beautiful unto themselves. So I say to you today, beautiful souls, we are accountable for everything that goes on in our lives. And that situation that happened with the helicopter and the plane, now that we are awake, what we know who we are first, and what we choose and what we want to experience in life, in every present moment, tapped in self that is beautiful, always co-creating mindfully for ourselves, and giving us the power to be authentic and to speak up for ourselves in every way. Let's lead collectively in every present moment the beauty we choose for our reality. I hope this was helpful to someone today, and I look forward to seeing you guys in a new day, and to remain in your heart space, and keep this in your heart as I end this life now. Love created us beautiful and unique now, and because we know this now, and we have lived out many lifetimes in chaos, in destruction, in separation, and all of these things, and we have awakened to the truth of who we are. Give love what love is always giving. I am infinite elevation, consciously keeping high love vibrations alive on the planet exponentially. Because we real G's know elevation is the way to grow, and being accountable in the way our divinity is being expressed to us intuitively now and for all eternity, to have a beautiful, spectacular, awesome, wonderful, magical, high vibrational day, living in your heart space and love every way for unto yourself, and have it mirrored into reality, so we can reap the rewards of our divinity and our birthright collectively. I love all of you. High vibrational. Yeah! 5D New Earth Stars.